The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to the show. Today is Thursday, and I'm joined by Andrew and Noah, as always. Andrew's in St. Louis. Noah is in Arizona. I am in Los Angeles, California, and today's off to a good start. I woke up today to a text from a friend. I shan't say who because I don't know the legality around this thing. But so I woke up this morning at like 7 a.m. and I just couldn't. I was just kind of like dawdling on my phone a little bit before I drifted back to sleep. And I saw on Reddit that on the Taylor Swift message board that the Taylor Swift album Midnights, which is supposed to come out tonight at midnight, has been leaked as of maybe last night, and people on all the message boards are reviewing it, and I am obviously dying to hear it, but I had like a moral issue of like, do I listen, it's not going to prevent me from buying all the merch, all the record, like everything, but do I want to hear it? Because it's like, whatever it is, it's like a shitty ripped version. So it's not like it's going to, if I hear that, it's going to make her less money somehow. But it does, I know it would hurt her. And she's probably devastated that there's a leak, because that even happened. She was doing this thing where she would reveal every like couple days, she would do this thing called like Midnights with Me, and then she would pull a little ping pong ball out of a cage thing that she would spin. And it would be a number between 1 and 15,
yeah, she was like
tracks.
Yolanda Vega. Do you remember who Yolanda Vega is?
No.
Maybe that's like a
number 5.
Is it like a 70s thing? Because it's kind of a 70s style. Yolanda Vega.
I think maybe it was local.
It's the only name he didn't listen to that song.
I think so. Like in between nighttime TV, like right before the news, they would pull the lottery numbers. And there was a hostess, and she would go, "I'm Yolanda Vega." She just was. You couldn't forget
I'm
her.
sure so many besties know exactly what you're talking about, but that's a cultural reference I just missed. Maybe it was local to New York, was it?
Maybe. Sorry about that. But
no,
she would pull like
I
a
like
lottery
it.
number.
Yolanda Vega. Well, yeah, so Taylor would be all Yolanda Vega about it, and she'd pick a ball, and then she would say track number 7, and then she would turn on her amp, and then she would pick up a phone, and sometimes the phone would be upside down because she's cryptic and we don't even know what that means, and she would go, track number 13 is called Lavender Haze, and then she would hang up the phone, and that's it. And Swifties are freaking out like, we know the name of a song. It's in no other fandom do people freak out about the names of songs, yet I was like, why is this such a big deal to know the name of a track? But it is a big deal because it just is. Everything about her is a big deal. But even that got leaked.
When you hear the name of the track, do you think what the song will be about? Do you feel like you have a good idea from just the name? Obviously, like 22, you know.
Well, there's one called Vigilante Shit, which is such a departure for her because it's only in Reputation that, her 5th album that she started even cussing or saying that like shit in songs. So to have it in a lyric is one thing, but to have it in the title of the song, quite another. So it was called Vigilante Shit. Yeah, there's a part of you that goes, what could this be about? Who could this be about? Lavender Haze immediately made a lot of people think of the Lover lyric. She was like, and there's something's in a mysterious way. There's a something, I forget that. It sounded like another lyric to her song, and I forget it now. I'm a bad Swiftie. But so anyway, then she would go in and give little descriptions. Anyway, I'm sorry to become too Swiftie on this. That got leaked. Like her track list got leaked. Somehow she's in the middle of it. She probably, gave away 7 tracks out of the 15, and all of a sudden that got leaked. And so she was putting these videos out every midnight, every couple days, and we couldn't really anticipate when she was doing it. Swifties were staying up late, and then one day it was just like she just put them all out. Like she just put out every video of her picking out the balls because it got leaked. And so now, and also I just saw TikTok where someone
happen. You're in
someone
Hollywood.
Scooter Braun. Fucking Scooter.
Fucking Scooter. He even
That's probably
has
his
her new
fucking
stuff.
Scooter. Yeah, fucking Scooter.
It
I don't know.
is-
Yeah.
It is.
Do you think someone sells it? Do you think
No,
it's like
I think
a TMZ
it's just someone
thing?
internally they're doing press kits. There's so much stuff that goes out before something comes out. At her level, it doesn't really have to anymore. But for instance, there is a Walmart, I guess, that accidentally put it out because they have it all in stock. It's not like it arrives and they put it out. Like it's coming out at midnight tonight, but it is already in stores now in stock rooms. So there you go. There you have it. Like someone just stole one from a box somewhere and then boom, it's out there. So I woke up this morning and I Googled Taylor Swift leak. I was just looking for like snippets. I didn't want to hear a whole song, but I was definitely like, it's kind of like how I felt about like when celebrities
Were you on
their
Pornhub?
nudes leaked. Yeah, I know. It felt like that. It felt like she doesn't want me to see this. This was meant for one person.
Looking at the
I was
analytics.
on X-Hamster. And I felt like dirty about it. And then I went to a couple sites and it was like, clearly everything had been pulled off YouTube.
What did you honestly learn so far?
That I can't find it. But then I wake up after my second waking up to a text from my friend who sent me, he said, I know it comes out tomorrow, and it said midnights.zip, and he sent me the whole damn thing. And I don't know what to do with it because I want...
Put it on. Let's go through it.
Let's go right now.
Well, by the time
Can you imagine?
yeah. Oh my God. Well, I guess I could listen to it. Like could say allegedly I listened to it, and you could hear me listen to it, and I wouldn't play it. But that's about all I could offer, and I don't even know if that would be legal. But I am in this weird zone of like I want to listen to it so badly, but I wanted to do a reaction video, but today my day is so fucking long that that means I wouldn't be able to tape a reaction video till maybe tomorrow, and then I can't listen to the album till tomorrow. So I just don't know what to do with myself. Have you ever been that excited about a release of something, like a golf club, a documentary about golf clubs, a opening of a golf club near you, like a
anything golf?
Yeah,
related?
like has there been anything that you? I mean, I think that our obsessed. Like I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, I have been obsessed about things, but never like outside of myself where I'm like waiting. I can't think of a thing, but I can think of like, in the Jewish religion, we have to fast one day and we can't eat or drink water all day. And that's how I feel like your brain is right now. I know, one day. But it actually is. Hey,
Talking to an anorexic. I did that for 9 years. Every day I was fasting. I know what it's like to break a fast and how anticipatory it is. No, that's actually a really good example, I think. If you've ever fasted.
I think it's so funny though. Look, if you send me the zip of Taylor Swift, I'll show you how easily I could wait. You know what I mean? Like in the same regard, I could show you how fucking easy. I don't have to listen to Lavender Douche or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's called Midnight. It's kind of interesting though, I have to say. Because she said originally these are all songs she wrote in the middle of the night when she couldn't sleep, like things that would wake her up in the middle of the night. That's what she originally said, right? And so I'm thinking, these are songs from her whole life that she's written in the middle of the night that somehow haven't ended up on another album. Like, why wouldn't you put songs you wrote in the middle of the night on other albums that this is her 10th album? And then
you should come out with like your next special be 2 p.m. or like somewhere like that's like not cool at all.
Jokes I wrote when I woke up at 2 p.m. in the middle. Jokes I wrote in the middle of the afternoon when I just couldn't sleep.
Your midnight album would be Sweaty Bed. Is there an intruder?
Dirty Invisalign.
Lock both doors.
Reddit
Dirty
dump.
Invisalign.
Is it poop or spray tan in my sheets? Spray tan sheets.
And we're going to leak each one.
Oh my God.
Every 4 days. Oh, that's so funny. So
14
you
sleep
have
masks.
it in your possession.
That's how many sleep masks I have, by the way. My bed is littered with sleep masks. They're everywhere in my bed because they fall off in the middle of the night and I desperately need one to get back to sleep. And sometimes you can't find when it falls in the crevice. So I just have them everywhere. So anywhere I reach, I grab a sleep mask and put it on my head. I'm so excited about this album. But here's my thing. And this is no shade. Swifties, don't come after me. I'm just saying, at first when she said it was an album that she wrote all the songs at midnight, there was a part of me that was like, are we getting old stuff? Because, by the way, she's doing re-records of her old albums that Scooter Braun now owns, right? And in those re-records, she's releasing songs on those new re-recorded albums that that didn't make the album that like almost made it. So now she's like a better artist than she was when she made Red. So she's taking tracks that didn't really make Red and actually putting them out there. So, and they're called vault tracks. It's called those what they're called. Like they were in the vault. So she's already been putting out stuff that she wrote long ago that wasn't really finished, and now there's a whole new album that she's like, these are songs I've written through my life at midnight. She didn't maybe say through my night, but these are songs I wrote in the middle of the night when you can't sleep. I think that's what she said, and I found a little bit of a problem with that because I'm like, you've already given us songs from your past. Like this is either a new album or no album. Like I mean, I'll take anything from her. I'll take it if it's like recordings of her, like sleep app recording her sleeping and you just hear her breathing and like muttering to herself. I would gladly buy that. So let me just say I'm
singing over an apnea machine.
And people can say whatever they want about this album, that it's like not as good. Like I don't even know what people are being like, little bit of criticism that I see. I guarantee you it's fucking amazing because this girl can't put out anything but hits. She's never not put out nothing but hits. So there's no way that it won't live up to the hype. But then people are like, this, but then the other night she said, someone goes, are there going to be like vault tracks on this, like things you wrote in the past? And she was like, she did a video and she said, no, it's all new stuff. And that kind of contradicts what she said before. So you only wrote this album in the middle of the night recently, but what I think she meant, if I were to guess, is that these are songs about things that keep you up in the middle of the night, and they are all new, and I'm very excited about them. And we'll see what I think about it on Monday. I'll give you, I might do a YouTube video about my reaction to it, but it's all kind of hard to do because I'm so sincere when it comes to Taylor Swift. It's hard to joke. But I am very excited.
Do you think it's is it rock and roll? Is it
no, there's no apparently
pop?
There's no departure because she was doing a 70s vibe for that Yolanda thing that no one was talking about. Like that,
Yolanda Vega.
Yolanda Vega, she's spinning this like thing, and there's all of the pictures from it, all of the artwork, all of the promotional stuff has been very 70s. And so everyone was thinking this is going to be like Fleetwood Mac, this is going to be like Joni Mitchell, this is, but it's not at all apparently. Apparently it's very for Swifties out there, it's very reminiscent of Reputation and Lover is what people are saying, and a little Evermore mixed in, which is pretty much 3 albums of hers, which are all over the map. And those are my 3 favorite albums. Lover and Reputation are my 2 favorite albums, which most Swifties would disagree with me on that. So I'm psyched, and I can't wait. And it's just so exciting to know that there is about to be like 15 new songs. I might have that number wrong. Forgive me if I do, Swifties, but that are going to be like the Spotify end of the year, like Spotify Wrapped, where they tell you what you listen to the most. I'm about to put in some numbers on that because this has been like not a great year for me listening to Taylor Swift nonstop. Last year I was in the like 0.5% or something like that of listeners. This year it's not going to be that, because she just hasn't put out anything new, which is not her fault. But yeah, and I guess I just haven't listened to as much music. I've been like expanding my horizons a little bit, but I am so excited to have new music in my life.
I'm so jealous of your excitement, by the way.
Yeah, I am too. I'm
I wish I
jealous
had
that I don't
that.
have
Well,
a
this
new
is like
art, like an
sports.
artist that's like, yeah, that's true.
This is like sports.
Yeah.
Like this is like when football season. Don't you get so amped up when it's like it's about to be football season?
Yeah, and that lasts like 2 weeks, and then I'm like, okay.
Really?
Sweet. I'll
You're
just have
already
it on
over
in
it?
the background. I'm not over it. It's just like you're excited to just have something to fill your day. That's really what the
Yes.
excitement is for a lot of people. I think they just don't know what to do with their whole day. And a football
Days
game.
are very long. They are so
really
long. I love having long days because you can fit in naps, but people who don't nap, what do you do with your day? Because I nap during my day.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of a musical artist that's out right now that I get excited. I guess Eminem a little bit. I used to at least get excited when he had a new album coming out.
Yes.
But yeah, no one.
I don't know.
Well, my
I can't wait.
friends over the weekend, Chris's sister and his sister-in-law and their friend Jamie were in Chicago to see Harry Styles' concert, which I'm so mad I haven't seen him yet on tour. But the day afterwards, they're going down the street and they went to go get coffee, and they saw on the street 2 girls in Harry gear sobbing and holding each other. And they were like, oh, he must be close. He's somewhere. Like, this is the type of devastation you see after someone's run into Harry Styles. And so instead of
I love it.
helping
It's
the
either
women,
like their cousin got shot and killed, or Harry Styles blew him a kiss. It's like one or the other.
Yeah, it's Chicago, so it's definitely one or the other. So they quickly go, oh my God. And they know this cafe is one that Harry maybe has been, like his hotel is around. Like someone has some intel that Harry's hotel is nearby. So they go and they keep walking, and all of a sudden they see Harry Styles. First of all, he's wearing the same thing he's been photographed in all weekend around town. If you were someone who didn't want to be recognized, wouldn't you wear a different outfit than like a flowy summer dress as a man to not be recognized? You know what I'm saying? Like if you wanted to be a little incognito, not that he was wearing a dress, that's a joke about how he dresses sometimes, but he was wearing something that was like, they go, we've seen pictures of him in Chicago in this outfit all weekend because he was doing kind of a couple shows there or whatever, at least a couple. So then they go up to him.
Maybe
and
he has like I was thinking maybe he has a guy or a couple Harry Styles lookalikes, and that would make sense if you're wearing the same thing.
Why
that
would you
really
want that,
get you
though?
off? And then he'd go out in like a hat and a mustache, and he's fine. So he sends out these Harrys all over the place.
That's an interesting idea. If he were like Bill Murray, I'd believe that. If he were like a little scamp. But I feel like he's not like doing social
Scamp
experiments.
might be my favorite word.
It's such a
Scamp
funny word.
is a great word. So
But
so they go up to him.
They're I think they're walking behind him. If you want to hear the whole story, if you're a huge Harry fan, it was on Monday's episode of the Courtney Show. It's on the podcast, and they tell it, and the girls call in and tell it. But Chris's sister, I believe, yelled out, "Harry, you were amazing last night. We were there," or something. And he turns around, and they're kind of talking to him. They didn't talk about what they talked to him about, which I was frustrated by in their call-in and the radio show. I didn't get the details of what he said, but I do know that Khaki, Chris's sister, bravely asked for a picture, and Harry declined.
Oh, wow.
I know. He just, I mean, he was polite about it, but he was like, I'd rather not, And they got to have a conversation with him, and then Emma, Tim, Chris's brother's wife, took a picture of Khaki talking to Harry, and Khaki, I think, was just so in disbelief that either she was talking to him or he was in her presence, or he turned her down, that she said she couldn't really like function after that. But the hardest part is that they saw him
girls were crying.
Yeah, they saw him taking pictures with other people all weekend.
Oh shit! Oh no!
But listen, there's a threshold. There is a threshold.
Harry hit it. Yep.
And
or that
it was Sunday morning. He I bet he did Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He's doing it all. Like and I will say, I should have told this to Khaki because I think she was a little bit hurt. I said, I think it's a more interesting story. First of all, than getting a picture with Harry is that Harry turned you down for a picture. And she was like, you think? And I was like, well, don't follow up with you think. I was just saying that to be nice. I don't really.
Yeah.
No, I actually do think that's more interesting. It's
You do think?
Yeah, because what is a picture? If I showed a picture, you would. There's no story there. Oh, she got a picture with him, and he was smiling reluctantly.
And she does have the other photo where
there's
she
the
is
other
getting
photo of her
denied.
just like kind of looking at him and gazing at him, and he's smiling and looks like he's having a nice conversation. But he apparently asked what section they were in, which I think is a nice cursory question to ask people that were at your stadium concert the night before, of like, oh yeah, I love that section. This is great. You guys love great signs, Like what else is he gonna say? He doesn't know where St. Louis is. If he was like, where are you from? He's like from like, it'd be like us asking which town are you
section
from
104
in the UK. We don't know. Yeah. So
row B. That's me.
But then
I live there.
They were just like losing their mind, and they leave, and they're driving back from Chicago to St. Louis, like 5.5 hour drive. And they Emma and Khaki can't even talk to each other because they're just like processing what just happened. They can't get over it. And Emma's like 35 years old. Khaki's 34. These are grown women with like children of their own, and they've never lost their mind about someone this much in their life. Chris is like, I don't even recognize my sister. She's never been gaga about guys. She's never even been Lady Gaga about Lady Gaga. She doesn't care about this stuff, but she's obsessed with Harry Styles. So they're going back there like catatonic. They stop at a rest stop, and they run into girls that were also at the concert because they're decked out in like Harry merch. And Khaki can't help herself, and she goes, we met Harry this morning. And these girls are like literally crying because and the girl goes, I've never met someone who's met Harry Styles. And the girl is like crying about it and like probably wanted a picture with Khaki. And Khaki's like, I can't anymore today.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Khaki's like, what section?
All right, let's go to break. We'll come back with more after this. All right, we're back.
I wonder what that infatuation is with someone like Harry Styles. I think about like, I'm here, I live in St. Louis now, and like I look around, you don't see a lot of guys like Harry Styles or wearing feminine clothing. I wonder if it's something that's like so foreign.
I have a thought.
What is your thought?
I think women are starved for femininity from men. And I think men are depleted of any kind of femininity. They can't ever be. It's the same Elvis phenomenon. If you saw the movie Elvis, like women were going nuts for this guy that all the guys were like mocking when he walked out on stage wearing this like pink, jumpsuit, guyliner, like the whole thing. It looked feminine, and then women lost their minds. They're like coming in their seats, and I think that's it. Like I think that men. We do love masculine men. There's no doubt about it. We love men, but women are craving more emotion from men and more. Whether you want to admit it or not,
challenge.
I think that
I think there's something.
Could it be that it's like his attitude of like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go out.
The confidence too. The confidence to wear something
and to perform in that way, and just to carry a whole stadium of people.
Yes. I mean, and no, there's no doubt he is gorgeous.
He's an incredible performer, by the way.
And incredible performer, charisma. He was in One Direction, so he's got that boy band thing going for him, but he's also like, and he's just, and his music is fucking amazing. It's like inarguably great. And so, but I do think that women want more femininity from men. And we're all a little gay right now. We're all a little bit gay. Mm-hmm.
A confident masculine man in what quote unquote feminine clothes. So it's like a guy that like he doesn't change. He doesn't like. He's not Mr. Whatever like fem. You know what I mean? Like he's like I guess you would say a manly man.
He's not manly though. He's not like hammering on the set and like. He's not hugely muscle bound with a bunch of like really masculine tattoos. He's pretty feminine across the board.
I've seen interviews with him, and it's not like he's still like you saw the thing with Chris Pine when he potentially kissed or spit on him, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's a toughness to him it doesn't have to be like manly, but when he does interviews, he's very confident. He's very like strong in his words and what he thinks.
Women love masculinity, so he's definitely a man. There's no question about it, but. I think it's almost like the same vibe that like a more
like Sting or like
even David Bowie. Like women were crazy about him. Prince. I always was confounded by women's like sexual desire for Prince because he to me seemed like a woman a little bit, but I was a young girl, so I didn't understand it.
But he was extremely alpha. Stories you hear about Prince is like he did things his way. He was very like assertive. You know what I mean? Like I think sometimes but I'm not saying that that's not what I'm saying though. I think people think femininity. They think then they're not assertive. Like they're not like alpha males.
I also don't think that men just being a man and then wearing a dress is going to be enough. There's not like it's not like Harry has femininity because he puts on a skirt and wears like flowery things. There is like a softness to him, and and as being a singer, that's straight up pure emotion pouring out of him every second. Like it's most like singing is so feminine, for sure, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying that I think that
is feminine.
That he doesn't have both. I'm saying guys will look at him like they looked at Elvis, like, oh, this is a feminine girl. Like they'll look at what he's wearing and then just judge him based off of that.
Because men want to do it so badly and they're so jealous they can't. And they're just jealous that they can't take that risk because they would be too embarrassed and that it's working for someone else. I think anyone that hates on that, but it's also It is interesting how attractive it is. My friend Hala, her husband John, wore skirts in high school. And that was the first time I ever saw a guy. And this is 2001. This is pre 9/11.
Like way ahead of, yeah. Whoa.
I mean, that was the first time I would ever hear of a guy wearing a skirt. It was,
Is this real?
Can someone find it online? Someone did find me the John Mayer set list from the pageant. And there's no, it doesn't say he opened for Guster. It got leaked 23 years late.
No! Don't
Someone
tell me
found
what.
it,
Fuck it.
but it is smaller than, so it doesn't say he opened for Guster, but what it does indicate is that he was an opener because there's only like 8 songs he played, as opposed to Guster the same night played a lot of songs. So shout out to the bestie that found that for me. I got a tool yesterday that I wanted to share with you guys. It got sent to, or it didn't get sent to me. I ordered it online. It is called the Go Guarded. Go Guarded, spelled exactly like you would think. It is a ring, okay?
Oh,
You wear it on your finger when you go running.
I know what that is.
And it has a little like rubber, like, so I go like this, doesn't hurt. But if I stab you, there is a serrated blade that
you
is
have to
so
be careful not to
sharp.
like, scratch your eye by mistake.
What if you?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
so cumbersome on my finger. There's no way I would scratch my eye with this finger. Like, you feel it so much. And you only wear it running. And you're very aware that you have it. And so if anyone, like this, I had it in my purse yesterday and I was just like digging for an eyeliner.
Yeah,
and it scratched
that's
my
what I'm
finger.
saying.
It's great. I recommend it. These are great gifts to get for Christmas, for your, or Hanukkah, for your Kwanzaa.
For my nephews.
Yes, for your girlfriend, for your wives. Like, honestly, this is an absolute great. They are not. I bought this with my own money. They don't even know I have one. This is not a sponsored ad of any kind.
It's very
I just
Harry Styles.
Love it. And it comes in different colors. And
it's
living
hot
in
pink, but
LA,
it's tough inside.
with the aggressive homelessness, people on meth, people on weird PCP drugs where they're just attacking people. You read about something new every single day of someone getting just like sucker punched. This thing, I would really recommend it. I have another
it's like
thing.
the Tiger
called,
Lady a
yeah,
little
the Tiger
bit,
Lady.
right?
Yeah,
the Tiger Lady
show.
is more cumbersome. It's like a thing you got to hold in your hand, and the claws come through your fingers like Wolverine. This is so sharp; it could fuck someone up so bad. It's awesome, and it's kind of cute. So I'm very excited about it, and I recommend it. Go Guarded. Don't DM me about it and be like, "What was the name of that?" I said it 18 times. Go Guarded. Don't waste my time. Besties are like, "Why are you being rude?"
I'll link to it.
I just can't. I can't tell you how many times people ask me, what is the book that helped you quit drinking? I like literally every day. I get, what is the book that helped you quit drinking and smoking? Is it just a reason for people to reach out to me? Yeah. That was the first joke that Chris ever and I ever said to each other. As I said I quit smoking with the book, he was like, Game of Thrones. And I didn't get it because I thought Game of Thrones was a show. And so I was just like, what? And he thought I was stuck up and like a stuck up comedian that like pretends not to understand normal people's jokes. And so he thought I was a bitch. I thought he was talking about a show. I didn't know Game of Thrones is a book. And so that we were off to a great start. And but people always ask me what the book is, and I think if you put in my name, it's the first thing that comes up. I guess it's just an excuse to get in touch with me. But and you know what? It works because every single time I write back. Instead, I just wish I could go like the classic, if you have to ask, you don't know. Like, I wish I could do my old clear line. I'm coming off like a bitch this week, and I know there's some people that's like, she's stuck up. Why can't she just respond to people? You would not believe the amount of DMs I get every day. I just want to tell people, you would not, and I'm not bragging, hundreds of people asking me the most inane questions, and it sucks because they can see when you've read it, so then you just look so rude if you don't write back. If it's a question, you can't just heart it. Sometimes just hearting something makes you feel like that's not enough, and it's almost like really rude to heart it. So sometimes I just don't write back to anything, and then that looks less rude than hearting it, because hearting it looks like I read it but I just don't have time to write back. Whereas if I don't write back, sometimes maybe people can think I didn't read it. But it's like, it's never ending. What, Andrew, I've heard people go, you never wrote back to me. So you do the same thing, right? Like, it's too overwhelming with how much people just send you just basic stuff. It
depends what the question is. Some of the things are like, they need like a full-on paragraph back if I write back. But I don't get the shit you get. what I don't think people realize with your DMs, and I might be talking
grab
for
a
you, but
soda,
you get
but yes.
you get like 4 or 5 in between, like a heartfelt message is dick pics, or like guys being like, "I'll eat your feet" or whatever. So I'm sure if you're dealing with that,
those are great because they're easy to ignore. You know, like
that's true. I guess
it's easy to just not write back to those. I actually prefer like gross messages because then I just go, "Oh, I get to block this person." But sometimes people are like,
Yeah.
"I thought you'd like this video. I was thinking of you when I saw this." Like, and by the way, I know that there are besties listening that are like, "But you wrote back to me and you said you liked it." I actually did like it. Like, these are nice things that people are doing, but I think that sometimes people forget. I'm not trying to be like
I'll say it. You don't only get a shit ton of DMs, you also get a bunch of texts and emails, and you get text messages from people that you work with, from celebrities.
I get text messages
friends.
from people I don't work with and that I don't know all day long. My number has been leaked. Sorry, Taylor. I understand what you're going through. And I get text messages all day long.
All
They're
15.
just, "Hey, Nikki." That's all it says. And I don't know if it's someone who, changed their phone number, and it could be like Joe
that's
Rogan.
how they get you to
I don't
write
know.
back. They
and
keep
they go,
it.
"Hey, Nikki." Yeah. Or they go, "Is this you?" And they'll send me a screenshot of someone posing as me online. So I have to write back to them and go, "No, it's not me." And they go, "Yeah, that really concerned me." And now this conversation started. Someone who has my number, I don't even know. But I talked to Neil Brennan last night. I ran into him, co-creator of The Chappelle Show. And he told me that he's done with Instagram. Like, he's taking a break from it.
Nice.
Because it just never ends. And he's more worried, like, people will just he did a joke about Kanye or something, so now people are coming out against him as being insensitive or whatever, and it's just like he's just starting to like panic about like go down these spirals of stupid stuff. But I do love people writing me, but there's something about, I don't know, I guess I relate because I would love to be in touch with someone that I felt really connected to, but I just gotta say it's like, it's a lot. And there are certain people that early on they messaged me, maybe earlier on or on a day where I had a lot of caffeine, so I wrote back to them once. And now it's become, if I don't write back, it is like they get a little pissy and they get a little like rude. And I've never met this person before. All I've done is probably give them free tickets all I've done is do things for this person. And now one day I don't write back and they get an attitude. It's too much.
It is interesting to think about when,
but I don't know what to do.
You hear stories of like, I sent a letter to Steve Martin and he wrote me back and I still have it. And it's like, it's such a big deal. I mean, who knows how many letters
Like
Steve
fan
Martin
club.
wrote.
It is a big
but
deal.
Not as many people.
There are people
that. But people wrote these letters. They don't know if Steve Martin read them.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
That's the difference. Like, they don't know that they probably don't assume
sometimes
that
what they do. They go, "Is this really Nikki or her assistant?" And it's like, well, I'm not going to now send a picture of me holding today's paper to prove this is me. I'm not even actually going to write you back after that because I don't need to prove myself to you. I don't, it's just, but I am grateful for, if you're a bestie and we've communicated a lot and it's always been like nice and cordial, please keep writing me. It doesn't bother me. It's like, it's the ones that
you
feel,
have the ability. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You could just hire a team that just puts out your Instagram shit and you never even have to see it again. But then you want control over it, so it's like hard to decide whether or not.
I do like some of the correspondence. I know that there's going to be some Reddit thread being like, "She's changed. She's a bitch now." But I'm swear to God, I'm not. I wish I could write to everyone and be friends with everyone. I'm the same bitch I've always been.
Oh, she's always been with a new voice. Yeah, that's old. Like her other voice.
The other day, like, I kind of felt for Harry because, now he's disappointed to fans because he didn't take a picture. And it was like, man, he could have been cooler. And the truth is, yeah, he could have been. How hard is it to just take a picture? But the problem is, I'm sure that if he took that one picture, other people would have seen. If he was in an elevator, I'm sure he would have taken the picture because no one that would be around to see, "Oh, you can take a picture with Harry Styles. I want to get in line." And so that's what happens. I just read so many celebrity message boards, and celebrity fans are so rude to celebrities if there's one little story about a celebrity being slightly like not in the mood for it that day, and you don't know what that story is. You don't know how rude that person was that came up to them. And by the way, I love being recognized. If you see me in public, bug the fuck out of me. Ask for a picture, have a
Make
conversation.
sure it's not in an elevator.
Yeah,
Make
would
sure
you
it's
ever
on
say no?
Broadway.
No,
Would you ever say
never. No, there is no.
Even
There's
if you're
no
coming
chance
off
I would.
a plane.
No.
You're-
Oh no. I would never. I love every. Now listen, this is me right now with about 1 million followers on Instagram. When I get to, if there's ever a day in my life where I have 30 million, I actually don't think I will say I don't think I will ever not want to take a picture with a fan. Or like it's too easy to take a picture, just a selfie. Now here's another. Don't give your camera to someone else to get because that's not even a good picture. Selfies are so much better because you get closer to the celebrity. They kind of put their arm around you. It's a close-up shot. It is a better picture. It takes less time. But I love it. I love when people say something and they take a picture. Every time, I will always love it. And you can DM me and I might read it and write back to you, but I'm not going to hate you if you write me. I'm not going to remember that it was you. I don't remember. Sometimes people go, we've written on Instagram. And I'm like, I don't remember because your name is, Whip Boy
Heather.
63.
Or,
like
yeah, Whip
I don't
Boy,
know what that. I don't know you as. I don't know who that would be. And I wish that someone could just see inside my DMs sometimes to understand, because I just think that some people think that I could be. I just don't. I hope you just don't think I'm rude. It's just too much. There's only so much you can take. And
Yeah,
I just
I think,
related to Harry on the most small scale. I mean, it's just I can only imagine how much he gets bombarded all the time. But that's why I'm like, why
I can
are you wearing the
imagine
same
where
thing
his
all the
head's
time then?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking his headspace, if he's still wearing the same thing 4 days in a row, is either very good or very
Bad. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
good
one.
point.
It's one or the other. There, like if I'm wearing the same sweats, I'm probably either the saddest I've ever been, or I
Or
found.
you really
Buddha,
love those
or whatever.
sweats. Or you just
yeah.
or you just found a pair that really work.
So
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's probably the latter. He's probably just like, I'm fucking tired. I just did a 40 city tour. I'm still have another 100 to go. You know, I'm
It
sure.
looked like he was holding a coffee, so it was probably like first thing in the morning for him.
Yes.
I
saw a thing too
love
where he'll
pictures, though,
perform
anytime.
and he has a car. Did you see that video? He has a car backstage, like in the actual
That makes sense
arena.
to me. Yeah,
So he's just like, I'm fucking out. Like, it's just so funny where it gets to the point where you go from, I'm going to wait by a door and say hello to everyone because I'm so appreciative, to, if I don't get out of here within 3 seconds, I'm going to lose my mind. I don't know. It's like,
Well,
it's
because
funny
there's
how it grows so much that you can't handle it. Like, or
And I
don't.
just
don't
think
know.
that people don't understand it. And I don't even understand it, that level of fame, and how hard it must be and the burden of it. Like, and how people have opinions about you. I mean, his relationship is being taken apart every single day online. People are making assumptions about his girlfriend, about him. Like, just everything, every move you make, someone has a goddamn opinion. It would be even the small amount of opinions that circulate about me in the very tiny dusty corners of Reddit. The times I've stumbled upon them it's devastating. It's devastating to read people having a take on you when they don't know who you are, or people who were like, I used to like her. That's the worst thing, is like, I used to, and now I hate her. Like, she's changed. Like, people who get mad when you change, is everyone supposed to stay the same? Do you know that you change too? Do you know that everyone sheds their skin, like every single cell, every 7 years?
She's not as relatable when she was poor. Like, now she talks about being rich. It's like, well, what do you want me to pretend to be poor?
I'm sure I'm
Like, or,
obnoxious in many ways with changing, but it's not. I don't know. It's.
Do you think?
And that's why I don't read stuff.
Do you think it has to do with musicians? You sign like these contracts with these record labels where then you get paid in advance. So then you have to do a certain amount of shows just because you have to pay back what they advanced you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that'd be a tough position to be in, and that's why they go crazy a lot of times, because it's like,
well, they're touring.
You have to. Yeah, you have to. Like,
Harry's
you
not like
could-
needing to make money. Like,
I guess
he
at
can
this point,
afford
yeah.
to pay
Yeah.
whatever record company. Like,
Yeah.
they're making money off of him, so much money. But these tours are so lucrative. I mean, he does it because he loves it. You can tell that there's like a joy from his shows. But, Emma and Kaki, who went to the show, said that like it was the greatest night they've never been to a place with more happiness. And that's the same vibe at like Swiftie shows too. It's just like pure happiness. But that's kind of the vibe at any kind of, I mean, sporting events, there's a lot of anger, as we've talked about, but like music, like concerts are just pure joy. I don't know why I don't go to more of them. God, I have a long day ahead of me. Can we get to like one news story?
Sure. Do you want to do a sports moment?
Yeah, let's get to our sports moment of the week. This one's pretty good.
Of the week of the.
Here's Andrew's weekly sports moment.
I missed that.
I know, we haven't done this in a while. I found one last night that I think you'll like.
Oh, this is from you?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull it up.
I want to guess it almost. I wonder what it is.
Have you heard of any golf moments? I mean, it's going to be about golf.
There's a lot of stuff on the Live tour, but I doubt it's about that.
Liv Tyler?
And you're right, it's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not on that. What's the Live tour? Don't even tell me. I'm so disinterested.
It'd be an hour and a half. Yeah.
Okay. A golfer is suing a Ford dealer and a country club after they did not award him an F-150 truck as a prize for hitting a hole-in-one during a charity golf tournament.
Yeah. So it's the 10th hole, and they said anyone who gets a hole-in-one on
they
the 10th
posted on Facebook. There's evidence. And this is so funny. When he won, the country club employee called the Ford dealer, and a person at the store responded, "Oh, don't tell me." And the country club employee answered, "Unfortunately, it happened." So then the fucking...
I gotta know.
So now they're not giving this guy a car because they're saying that the country club did not understand what, like, they just used their imaging for promotion, and that the dealership did not know that this was like being promoted as like you give away a car, and they did not agree to it, and they just gave them imaging, but they did not agree to like actually give a car. So they're not giving this. So this guy is suing both the country club and the car dealership to get
the
this fucking car.
Unliked all the posts on Facebook that had this tournament.
So the dealership liked all the posts promoting the tournament.
Free car. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it said it like 45 times.
It went back and unliked it. It reminds me of my fucking friend's ex-husband who cheated on her and went back, and when he was having an affair, she found that like she didn't know. She was like really confused because she didn't know he was cheating on her. She just saw one day like on his Instagram all the posts with like them together in it. All the captions were changed from like "You're the love of my life," the happy 3-year anniversary. The captions, he edited them all to just be like an emoji of like, you know, just like a
straight face,
eyes like looking to the side, or like just like one of those whimsical like stars, like shooting stars.
Oh my God.
And it said edited on it, and he denied it. And she was like, dude, this all lines up with exactly, because when it came out, he was like, that's when you were hanging out with her. That's when I see all the Venmo transactions between you guys because you were going to have drinks together. Like, it all lines up.
The girl probably wrote them.
But
the girl probably made the caption.
No, he did that so that
when
she looked at his Instagram, she would see that their marriage was falling apart. Girls in relationships, look out for your boyfriends and your husbands editing past photos of you, because they know that the girl that they want at work, who they're kind of flirty with, is going to go back on their Instagram and see if they have a girlfriend, and they want to hide any evidence of her. And so they'll go back and like edit it to make it seem like maybe that relationship's over, or they weren't as close, or they weren't as in love. So that lines up with their whole bullshit story of like, we're actually struggling right now and we're separated, when the woman has no fucking idea about it.
Yeah.
So
I love the idea of a photo of their wedding day, and the captions, 2 paid actors, or like
fun
you know
photo shoot. Love this modeling gig I got.
yeah. Friends hanging out. It's like, dude, you're on a knee.
I love my sister. It's like them kissing at the altar.
My other friend tripped me and I fell and put a ring on her finger. Weird.
So here's the problem with this thing is that this dealership and this golf club did not get insurance, which is a popular thing. There are entire insurance companies that exist for these hole-in-one competitions.
Too, by the way.
It did?
Where someone
I remember
denied?
Joe Buck telling me, someone hit a hole-in-one and they didn't get the car because it was like a very expensive car, and
because they don't think it's ever going to happen. Because do you want to know the odds of getting a hole-in-one? Like, so I looked into it, and there's a whole article about 1 in 3.
Game of Thrones.
Insurance firms operate on the premise that the odds of something happening are small enough to assume a repeated risk, obviously. The chances of someone getting a hole-in-one are fairly small. What do you think it is for amateur golfers? 1 in what? How many?
Probably 1 in 2.5 million.
Way off. Okay, it's 1 in 12.5 thousand.
Oh, that seems really low, actually, to me.
And for pro golfers, what do you think it is?
Probably one in, if it's 1 in 12.5 for amateur, so 1 in 600.
3,000.
Oh, wow.
But then 450 million rounds of golf are played every year, and because of the scale and popularity of sport, the feat happens on a daily basis. So people are getting holes in ones on a daily basis. Now there's
one. I've won.
You've won? When?
Yeah, I've won. But there's a asterisk, unfortunately. It was a par 3 course, but it was 140 yards. So it was a real par 3, but there's par 3 courses. So there's an asterisk.
It was a real par
people
3,
give it
you
to
mean?
me.
Wait, what does that mean?
So they have par 3 so there's like a 9-hole par 3. So every hole is a par 3. It's like, so when they don't have a ton of land, they make it all par 3s. So I made it on a par 3 course, not a whatever. Anyhow, go ahead. Sorry.
But what year was this?
This was when I was retired in my 20s.
And did you get the car?
My dad let me borrow it for a day.
Did you buy rounds of drinks for everyone at the golf course? Because that's the rule. I didn't know this was the rule. That sucks.
Yes, you do.
So you win, and then you have to like spend thousands of dollars. In Japan, it is so customary I read about this. It's so customary for people to get a hole in one in Japan, and it is like you have to buy you have to throw a gigantic party, and so it's a huge industry to get golf insurance, hole in one insurance in Japan, and the off chance that you're gonna have to spend $3,000 for a party that night. What were you gonna say, Andrew?
It's like, oh no, it's just that my dad let me drive his Cadillac CTS around. And whatever, it wasn't because of the hole in one, but I left the sky roof open just like an inch, and it poured like all night, and like, it was like when I came home from having my kind of overdose. Remember when I fell apart? I've told the story on here before, but give it some context. I just fell apart, and my dad's like, "Fine, I'll let you use my car." And literally, like the third day, I left the sky.
That's what he thought was going to change your life. Was he so mad?
He was just like, dude, come on, man.
What did you do after that with your was that just a new bottom on
the
top
sky
of
roof incident?
Yeah. Or was that just like more par 3 for the course? We got to go to break. We'll be right back after this.
There's probably a 1 in 6 chance I was going to leave that sky roof open.
All right, we're back. Today is Thursday, so it's time for some Fanthrax. Let's get to it. All right, Noah, what do we got today?
Okay, let's start off with Naomi.
Hi, besties. Bestie Naomi here. I have a question similar to the several debate. The phrase I'm interested in is just yet. How long is just yet? I already Googled it and everything, and obviously there's no definition like we found with several. It's more contextual. My context is I'm waiting to hear back from my dream job. It's taken a long time. I reached out. They said, "Thanks for your message. I'm afraid I don't have an update just yet. We are still in the process of interviewing, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for your patience." So when is just yet? When am I going to hear back from this freaking job?
Girl, you didn't get that job.
And
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm kidding.
I think it would be really different if I'm asking, how long is dinner ready? Not just yet. Are we there yet? Not just yet. When's your baby due? Rude question, but not just yet.
Not just yet.
You get it. So
I love this.
You know, for an anxious person with no control, obsessing my email every 5 seconds, give me the answer. Or when am I going to hear back from this job? Let me know what you think.
Apply to several more jobs.
Love you guys. And give me this freaking job. Thanks.
Oh man, that's so funny. Yeah, several more jobs. Andrea, is that your definition or the real one? What do you think?
I mean, just yet, for me, it's tough because it's almost like a cop out by the company. I feel like to be like,
yeah,
oh, we're actually looking for someone else. But
I don't love it just
2
yet.
weeks.
But I don't
2
think
weeks.
Yeah, I would say 2 weeks before you write again. And also, like, I think it's good you wrote back, Naomi. I think it's, God, I really hope you get this. I am so pulling for you. We don't have an answer for you just yet. Okay, let me just like think for a second if I got that. We don't have an answer for you just yet. I don't think I've ever gotten the answer I wanted when I have been told that we don't have it just yet. Because generally it goes, we should know soon is like more of a hopeful thing.
Yeah.
Just yet.
Feels like a wait list.
It doesn't mean like you didn't get the job or that it's such an answer that you give to someone that the girl that, let me just say this, I don't think it's a bad sign about like you didn't get the job. I think it's still very much able to be yours. I think it's about this person has no fucking clue when they're going to know. Like they just, that they're not really worried about filling the position that much. They're taking their time.
Sounds dismissive.
Exactly.
Right?
It sounds like the kind of place maybe you wouldn't want to work anyway. And I know that's tough to hear. That's like when a guy doesn't write you back and your friends are like, you wouldn't want to be with a guy who doesn't write you back. And you're like, yes, I do. Yes. But
he's like, I can't date you just yet.
He has great taste if he doesn't like me.
I can't take you out to dinner just yet. I can't.
It's a very interesting, like, Naomi, I feel like you've just stumbled onto like a Jerry Seinfeld bit of like, what's with just yet?
Yeah.
When's dinner? Not just yet. That's a different time than if you ask for a job. When is the job going to be? We haven't filled it just yet. It's a great little like. It's such a because it does. I wonder what you found when you Googled. But I would say to you that I would be the squeaky wheel and I would ask again in 2 weeks if I were you.
It's a good question because I was thinking about bringing this up at the beginning of the show. Of like, when do you follow up? I feel like if you don't hear back from a text and you don't hear back from an email, are those different times when you follow up with the person? Like, I feel like an email, you could wait a little bit longer. Like, okay, I'm not going to ask for a follow up. A text,
Are you emailing clubs and stuff? Is that what we were talking about?
This was for like I hired someone to like
golf clubs
do something for me,
right?
Not anything.
Oh well,
sexual.
If you're offering a job, that's weird. Like if you're offering to give someone money and they didn't get back to you, you can follow up really immediately. You can follow up as much as you want. You're like, hey, I'm trying to give you free money. Are you available or not? But
that's a good point. I should have to. I'm here going. I should wait a week before I get.
You should be just yetting them.
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
I'm an
when am I
idiot.
going to get that Venmo from you, Andrew, for that job I did? Oh, it'll come through just yet. That's what. I'll send you several dollars in the, just yet.
Okay, but let's take that out of the equation. Is a text more time of the essence than an email?
You know what sometimes. Yeah, it's tricky because it depends on the person, right? Like if I ask a question, usually I know people see text messages. Like if I'm familiar with someone enough to text them a question, I know they saw it. And if it's someone that I'm just like there was a guy last night, or I was running late for a show last night, and I sent a message being like, "Hey, what time is the show running late?" And they didn't write back, and I just like did a question mark on it, just to like bump it up in their thing. It's not going to annoy them. Maybe I have the wrong number. Maybe it's not. That person isn't working that night, so it's like fine. But I think that following up with emails is probably you would wait a week. And I only know that because I'm the person that needs to be followed up with stuff constantly, and people usually wait a week. And that's why I love the little feature on Google that's like, this person wrote you 2 days ago. Would you like to respond? They seem to have several question marks in the email. And do you even want to keep this correspondence going? Would you like to succeed in the industry that you've worked so hard to even get this far in? Why don't you write back to this person that could really help you? What are you scared of?
Dad, why do you have my password? It feels like, it's almost a little bit
oh my
like,
God,
why do you
wait a
know
second.
my life, Google?
Why did Siri just turn out? You just like, something happened that caused Siri to go, what do you want?
I think.
All right, let's get to the next Fanthrax. Naomi, good luck on your job. I really do. I'm sending vibes your way. I have a good feeling about it. Keep us updated what happens.
Okay, here's a misheard lyric story.
Hi, Nikki and Andrew and Noah. I first want to say, Nikki, your voice sounds so fucking amazing. And I'm so happy for you. You can especially tell the difference when you get really excited or passionate about something and you talk at a higher pitch. So Congratulations, and congrats on being on the other side of your silent time. The reason that I'm calling is because I was listening to the pod, as one does, and y'all are talking about how some disease names sound a lot better than what the condition actually is. And it reminded me of this lyric misunderstanding I had in elementary school. My mom used to listen to country music all the time in the car on the radio. And there was some song at the time.
I bet Andrew knows it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was called, but the hook was tequila makes her clothes fall off. But the way he sang it was more just kind of, I just didn't know what he was singing. So I would sing leukemia makes her clothes fall off. And,
oh my God, it's true.
I think this is because I had heard the word leukemia, but I didn't know what it was. And so I just was like, leukemia makes your clothes fall off. And my mom was like, what are you singing? And then she explained to me what tequila was and what leukemia was. So, anyway,
I love that.
Don't be cut and Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. That's a good one. We can, you know.
I guess we could. Yeah, we're learning things with the J.
The J's. Okay. Yeah. It is funny that leukemia is something we often hear about as kids, because I guess it's a disease that gets a lot, or it's a type of cancer that gets a lot of press. Whoever's like running the leukemia press wagon
marketing
is doing a good job. We hear a lot about it. You don't hear about scleroderma until you're 37, but leukemia.
yeah.
But yeah, that is
because there's always one kid from the town that had leukemia. So it was always like one kid.
Fall off. And it's funny to like that. Even if you're a kid and you're like, tequila makes her clothes fall off, why would a drink make a woman's clothes fall off? It's all so confusing to kids. But leukemia makes more sense because like you probably lose weight. Your belt doesn't fit anymore. I don't know. I liked it. I love a misheard lyric. Next one, Noah.
That one may be my favorite misheard ever. God, that was funny. Just the difference of the line is so good. Dude.
And I wonder how she discovered that she was saying it wrong. Like, did she sing it once and her mom goes, "What did you just say?" Leukemia makes her clothes. John, did you hear what your daughter just said? Like, I
is our daughter drinking tequila? Is she drinking? Are you drunk?
All right, final thought.
Leukemia.
Okay, let's go to Andrea.
Hi, No Druki. I have to really speed through this, but this is Bestie Andrea, and I'm currently calling in to tell you that I'm not having sex with a guy who definitely wants to have sex with me. I've always struggled with this in the past because, one, I don't want to come off like a loser prude. No offense to all the virgins out there. You do you, boo-boo. Two, I've been a really young, horny little bitch. What can I say? And three, you don't know if you want these guys to commit to you because you don't fucking know them. You meet them off of dating apps. But I found three things that have really helped me shift my mindset. Okay. One, I've done the casual relationships for years now, and it fucking sucks, and it really does not serve me, and it actually makes me feel really shitty about myself, and that had to like really sink in. Last year, I had to get a colposcopy because some fucking idiot loser gave me HPV, and that was traumatizing and made me feel really powerless. So and three, I'm almost 28 and just finished my PhD in chemistry, which I feel like really aged me. And I now feel too old to be fucking around with these fucking loser idiots.
Yes.
But the real reason I'm telling you this is because I have said no to two guys who try to keep making moves after we've been making out. And boy, that makes me feel so powerful. I think previously I felt what I thought was powerful when they'd see my body and be horned up, whatever. But now I'm in my loving my body for what it is era. So I'm probably not as hot as I used to be, whatever. And literally now if these guys don't want me, I know it's just because they don't respect me. And that makes me not give a fucking shit about them. So it's definitely a mentality shift. And I know it's hard to convince people to do this, whatever. But anyways, I love you guys so much. I love the pod. And I love all the besties. Jail.
Jail. That was my favorite one yet. It didn't even have anything to do with anything in her call either.
Maybe the guy that gave her HPV needs to go in there. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Jail.
I love this. Yeah, it is. She said it
fun.
So perfectly. Like, it used to feel powerful, and yet it still does sometimes when like you can make a penis get hard by someone looking at your body. Like, there's some power in that. You're just like, wow. But there is so much power when someone desires you so much and you're able to say, like, I'm not ready. Like, respect, like, just not doing it to like fuck with them and like withhold, but doing it because you're actually not ready. Yes. Yes, it makes you want him so much more. Listen, saying no to sexual advances that you don't really want to do and you're not ready for yet, and you're not like craving wildly, is not only, it's just, that's the thing. I don't think that, there are a lot of times though that I think I've wanted to have sex and just didn't yet because I just knew deep down somewhere I wasn't ready, and I was totally scared of getting abandoned by these guys that every time I slept with they would change. So there is a thing of like going against what you want a little bit, like, because you do, I don't know, like, Noah, do you know what I'm saying? Like, there are times where it's easy to not have sex with a guy because I'm like, I'm just like not in the mood. This guy is not like actually turning me on enough. Yes, I could easily do it, and like, yeah,
it's
or like
too much.
I could, like, making out with him is nice. Like, I'm not totally unsold on the idea. Like, it'd be fine, but there are times where I'm like really want it, and I just don't want to give it to them because I guess I just don't want to close the deal yet. Like, because I don't actually feel secure. If there was anytime there's a hesitation, it's because there's something in you that's not ready yet. So like, I guess listen to that hesitation. And it's been a long time since we've kind of talked about this, but if you're a young girl out there, or not even young, if you're a girl out there and thinking that sleeping with a guy before you get what you want out of the relationship, whether it be a commitment, and like before you talk about like what is this, what do you want, what are we? And I'm not talking about like, do you want to eventually have a girlfriend? Do you think I could be that? That's not it. It's like, you're my girlfriend now. Then you can sleep with them. And then some people go, no, why would you want a guy to be your boyfriend before you even have his dick inside you? Honey, if it's going to be good or not. Don't act like you have to like eat the cow before you buy it or whatever the fuck that is. Like, there's so many excuses I think women tell themselves so they can sleep with people before, because it's easier to, like, guys want you to. It's hard to tell a guy no. It's hard to like resist your bodily urges. But I think
I have a friend who like falls into this trap too, where she's like, I just want good sex. He just has to have a good dick and he needs to, know how to use it. And then it never lasts, or she'll get into a long-term relationship. She gave up an apartment that was so good to move in with a guy, and then they ended up breaking up. And it's just like, it complicates things so much.
Good sex will eventually, you'll both get old at some point if you're going to stay together forever, and sex will become not as important to you. And also good sex will come if you have a good connection and an intimacy. And
sorry,
no one even knew you dropped off. It's okay. Andrew dropped off for a second.
Sorry.
But
I'm so sorry, everybody.
I just think that I'm really proud of that bestie for sharing her story about that.
Andrea,
and
I felt like, from what I heard from her too, and maybe you talked about this while I dropped off.
No, I'd love to hear it.
But I thought it was like very powerful in the fact that like she went and got her PhD, and it sounded like she got her started to love herself more. Oh, HPD.
Both. It was both, actually.
yes, that's right.
Both.
No, it just sounded like she came into her own of like loving herself and not needing that outside of like whatever feeling of having like a guy having to approve of her. Like, she just found her value within herself. And I think if you're like just measuring yourself on how sexy you are and like whether or not a guy will fuck you, and you're not going after things you're passionate about, you're going to be stuck in that mold of like, oh, I got to give it up. You know, like, I feel like if you find a passion outside of sex,
that makes you
like,
feel
it will make you only stronger sexually
and
in
not
a way.
Like you have a hole.
Yeah.
That's It's so true.
Yeah.
I used to, even though I was like accomplished stand-up, accomplished in my career, had all of these successes, I still measured my worth, and I still struggle with it today, measuring my worth by if men want to fuck me. And it's really hard not to do that. And but that is the goal, because men are not going to want to fuck you at some point in your life if you live long enough. You will lose it. So you better develop some sort of sense of self that is not dependent on you being fuckable. And it's hard to do. And it sounds like Andrea got to it. And also, it has never, ever not worked to be a little bit of a tease. I've never heard one story of a girl having a guy want to fuck her saying no, and that guy never calling again. I haven't heard it. If you have a story like that, share it with us. But it's the secret that no one's talking about is that men, they will act in the moment so annoyed if they don't get what they want, and you will feel like you are disappointing them. You will feel like they're never going to talk to you again. You're going to feel like they're going to talk about you behind your back and call you a tease. It works. It never doesn't work. They will like you more. Don't be don't text them constantly. Don't be the first to text them. Don't be the first or the last to text. That's my advice to girls. And I know there are guys out there being like, you're making this so hard, Nikki. How do we know if a girl likes us? Like, pursue us. That's what we want.
And I think there's like there could be like a disconnect in like, be the biggest like boss bitch you can be, like in regards to your career, your work, and everything. Like I think there's an idea of like, oh, men aren't going to like us as much if we're like powerful and smart and independent. And I think that's like something that is old school and it's true, but it's also old school and bullshit.
A lot of men don't like you. Yes. To be honest with you, as someone who is those things, I do think it turns men off. But I have found a guy who is not intimidated by that. And like, it's not every guy, but you don't want a guy that's not going to be able to put up with that because you're going to have to give away a part of yourself. So if you do have those qualities, do not squash them. Try to find who you are without any in a vacuum where men don't exist. When you are able to carry yourself with confidence and like feel like lovable without any kind of validation from men, that's when you will be the most attractive. But who knows? It's a delicate science. I haven't had it figured out yet. I'm still struggling with it, and we'll keep talking about it. Thank you so much for your messages on the show today, all week. This has been such a great week of shows. We'll be back next week. I'm still in LA. Come see us on tour. You can get my tour dates at nikkiglaser.com. St. Louis, Memphis, Thousand Oaks, California, San Jose, California, Vermont, Davenport, Iowa, another city in Iowa. I have 2 cities in Iowa coming up next week, so I hope to see you there. Thank you guys so much. Check out Andrew's tour dates at andrewcollin.com. Andrew Collin Comedy?
AndrewCollinComedy.com, Austin, Indianapolis, Buffalo, all in November.
Amazing.
Come on in.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Don't be cuh and Jack Kevorkian.
Jam.
Jack Jams.
I like the short ones. They're fun.